Now though on BBC Radio 4 FM.
By the end of this afternoon, Ed Miliband hopes he will have convinced the party and, more importantly, the country at large that he was the right choice for Labour leader. He was practicing his speech well into the early hours, with rumours in the conference bars that he'd been feeling unwell. If so, it's not so surprising, given the kind of pressure he's been under. There's the fraught relationship with his brother-cum-rival David. We still don't know whether he's leaving politics. Then the divisions within the party. There's the Blairite supporters of his brother, anxious that he should distance himself from the trade unions and the Red Ed label. And others here who believes he needs to distance himself from the past. So what more is there to learn about Ed Miliband? I've been talking to some people who've known him at different periods in his life. Clive Bull, now the presenter of a late-night show on LBC Radio in London, invited the teenage Ed Miliband onto the Young London programme as a reviewer.
He was very media savvy, which is quite unusual for those days. He was quite professional, really. He did have an opinion on most things. I mean, the music, mostly, I'd say, well, he, like all the teenagers, pretty much criticised everything except the very cool stuff, the indie stuff. But everything else was, no, that's rubbish. I mean, you did have to be a little bit anarchy to even think to write into a radio station in the first place. But once you were there, I think, you had a job to do, and he did it very well.
How did he get on with the other panellists? Was there any rivalry?
Well, I don't know about rivalry, but we did try and get quite a mix of people. And I think it was great when we had Ed on one side of the table and this young punky girl called Susan, who turned up in her full gear with the blue Mohican, I seem to remember, and only liked a band called Killing Joke and nothing else. And I could see the fear in Ed's eyes when she turned up in the studio, but then she was a little bit scary for all of us, to be honest.
Clive Bull.
BBC Radio 4.